Hi students, welcome to the video session on the topic Atmosphere. In this lesson we will be learning about the composition of the atmosphere, structure of the atmosphere, greenhouse effect, global warming. This lesson is being divided into two parts, and in the first part let's learn about the composition of the atmosphere, structure of the atmosphere. They are troposphere, Stratosphere, Mesosphere, Thermosphere and Exosphere. And the topic, importance of the atmosphere. The Earth is the only planet in the solar system that sustains life. This is because the presence of certain unique features on the Earth like oxygen-rich air, liquid water on its surface, and a shell of rock covering the Earth. The features correspond to the three realms of the Earth. They are air, water, and land, and present the three states in which matter can exist. They are gaseous, liquid, and solid. The realm of land is called the lithosphere. The realm of water is called the hydrosphere, and the envelope of air surrounding the Earth is called the atmosphere. The atmosphere exists in several layers around the Earth. These layers become thinner at high altitudes. Therefore, one finds it hard to breathe as one goes up. Half of the total mass of air is found below 5 kilometers, touching the surface of the Earth. Air is held close to the Earth by its gravitational pull. The next topic that we are going to learn about is the composition of the atmosphere. The composition of the air which makes up the atmosphere is not uniform. It's a mixture of gases and tiny solid particles. However, a clean dry sample of air is made up of 78% of nitrogen and 21% of oxygen. The remaining 1% of air is made up of a number of gases, and they include carbon dioxide, water vapor, helium, hydrogen, argon, etc. The heavier gases like oxygen and water vapor and dust particles are found mainly in the lower layers of the atmosphere. Nitrogen is the most abundant gas in the air, followed by oxygen. When human beings inhale, they take some amount of nitrogen into their lungs and exhale it. Plants need nitrogen for their survival, but cannot take nitrogen directly from the air. They get nitrogen indirectly from the bacteria that live in the soil or in the roots of some plants. These bacteria take nitrogen from the air and change its form so that plants can use it. Humans and animals take oxygen from the air as they breathe. Green plants produce oxygen during photosynthesis. In this way, oxygen content in the air remains constant. When trees are cut indiscriminately, this balance gets disturbed. Carbon dioxide is used by green plants to make their food and release oxygen. Humans and animals release carbon dioxide. The amount of carbon dioxide released by humans and animals balances the amount used by the plants. The balance, however, is upset by burning of fossil fuels such as coal and oil. They add billions of tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere each year. This increased volume of carbon dioxide affects the Earth's weather and climate. Now let's learn about the structure of the atmosphere. There are concentric layers of air in the atmosphere. Each layer has different density. The upper layers press down the lower ones, so the air in the lower layers is always heavier and denser, while the upper layers are thinner and less dense. In this way, about 90% of the mass of the air lies within the height about 20 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. On the basis of the characteristics of temperature and air pressure, there exist five layers of the atmosphere, and they are Troposphere, Stratosphere, Mesosphere, Thermosphere, and Exosphere. Now let's learn about it in details. The first layer, that is the troposphere. Troposphere is the lowermost and densest layer of the atmosphere. It ranges in thickness from 8 kilometers at the poles to 16 kilometers over the equator. It is closest to the Earth. It is the layer in which we live. It contains more than 75% of the total mass of the atmosphere. Nearly all the Earth's weather conditions, including clouds, winds, storms, rain, and snow, occur in this layer. The weather forecast is made by studying the troposphere. Most of the water vapor is present in this layer. The troposphere acts as a blanket that protects the Earth from extreme heat during the day. It keeps the Earth warm during the night by trapping the terrestrial heat. The troposphere is warmest near the Earth's surface. This is because the sunlight that passes through the air heats up the land and the sea. The temperature of the troposphere drops by about 6.5 degrees Celsius for every 1000 meters, that means 1 kilometer, rise in altitude. The temperature stops falling at the upper boundary of the troposphere called tropopause. The second layer that we are going to learn is the stratosphere. The stratosphere lies above the troposphere. It extends up to 50 kilometers above the Earth's surface. Very little moisture enters the stratosphere, and so it is almost free from clouds and associated weather phenomena. Aeroplane pilots prefer to fly in the stratosphere to stay above the weather disturbances that occur in the troposphere. It contains the ozone layer called the ozonosphere. The ozone present in this layer protects the surface of the Earth from deadly ultraviolet radiations present in the sunlight. The third layer that we are going to learn is the mesosphere. The mesosphere is the layer above the stratosphere. It extends up to the height of 80 kilometers. The density of air in this layer is very low. It lies above the ozone layer. Harmful ultraviolet radiations pass through this layer. The lowest temperature in the Earth's atmosphere occurs at the top of the mesosphere called mesopause. This layer is the coldest atmospheric layer as the temperature drops to as low as minus 90 degrees Celsius in some parts during summer. Trails of hot gases left by meteors can be seen in the mesosphere. This is because meteorites burn up in this layer on entering into the atmosphere from space. And the fourth layer that we are going to learn is the thermosphere. Thermosphere is the next layer above the mesosphere. It extends from 80 to 400 above the surface of the Earth. The density of air in this layer is very low. This layer is the hottest atmospheric layer. When solar radiations from the outer space strike the air in the thermosphere, they are ionized. Most of the ions are produced in the lower part of the thermosphere, which is called the ionosphere. The ionosphere reflects radio waves towards the Earth and thus helps in radio transmission. Auroras, they are the northern and southern lights, happen in this layer. They appear as luminous bands of streams which extend to altitudes of 32 kilometers and are visible from the surface of the Earth at the higher northern or southern latitudes. And the last layer that we are going to learn is the exosphere. The exosphere is the upper part of the thermosphere. It is the outermost layer of the atmosphere. It extends upward from an altitude of about 400 kilometers and eventually merges with the interplanetary space. There is no exact upper boundary for this layer, but it is supposed to extend up to about 800 kilometers above the Earth. Now let's discuss about the importance of the atmosphere. The atmosphere extends several thousand kilometers above the Earth's surface, but it exercises enormous pressure on the surface of the Earth and remains in direct contact with the surface of land as well as the surface of water on the Earth. The atmosphere thus has a significance of its own. Air always remains in contact with land and water. Due to this physical contact, exchange of gases take place between air, land and water on a continuous basis. All the weather phenomena like snow, rainfall, fog, dew, etc. can be experienced only due to the atmosphere. These phenomena occur due to the dust particles in the atmosphere. Floating particles help to spread the sunshine. The atmosphere is the basis of the life on Earth, that is vegetation cover, animals and man. The ozone layer present in the atmosphere protects the Earth from the harmful ultraviolet rays. The atmosphere protects us from the scorching solar heat and dazzling light. During the daytime, it absorbs the harmful rays of the sun passing through it and dilutes the intense solar heat. The atmosphere is a dynamic system which absorbs various pollutants, thus acting as a natural sink. It helps in transmitting sound, as sound waves cannot travel in a vacuum. Now let's revise the topics that we have discussed. A clean dry sample of air is made up of 78% of nitrogen and 21% of oxygen. The remaining 1% of air is made up of a number of gases. The 5 layers of the atmosphere are Troposphere, Stratosphere, Mesosphere, Thermosphere and Exosphere. Please go through the key points and learn it. Exercises. First, fill in the blanks. Question number 2. Answer the following. Question number 3. Structured questions. Write down the answers in your notebook and learn. Thank you for learning along. I'll be back with part 2. Until then, keep learning. Have a great day.